Parker Schnabel has made a groundbreaking discovery in Alaska, uncovering a long-lost gold mine surrounded by tough terrain and the remnants of fast-failed attempts. Parker found clues that suggested gold was still buried beneath the surface. The discovery held the potential to uncover treasures thought to be lost forever. However, as the search deepened, so did the challenges. Parker and his team knew that searching for gold wasn't just about finding a promising location. It was about uncovering the mistakes of the past. The area had once been worked by miners who, due to limited technology, were unable to extract every ounce of gold from the land. Parker suspected that remnants of their work could still yield substantial gold deposits beyond the potential wealth. Parker was fascinated by the history of the mine. The old miners had left behind tools, structures, and records that provided insight into their techniques and struggles. Understanding how they operated could provide valuable clues about where to dig. For Parker, this was as much an archaeological mission as it was a mining journey. Almost 1,000 out week, almost a 000 a week. That is crazy. I like that. Yeah, that's wild. Gold mining has never been easy, and Parker knew this claim would be no exception. The previous miners had abandoned the area, believing it was depleted. However, Parker questioned whether they had truly extracted all the gold or if valuable deposits remained hidden under the surface. The land was difficult to work with, covered in thick clay and unpredictable weather patterns. But Parker remained determined. The tough terrain made excavation incredibly difficult. The soil was dense with layers of hardened clay that slowed down even the most powerful machinery. Equipment needed constant adjustments to keep up with the conditions. Heavy rain turned work sites into muddy quagmires, while sudden temperature drops created technical failures in their mining gear. Parker and his team faced these obstacles head-on, knowing that perseverance was key to success. To add to the difficulty, the location was far from supply lines, making transportation of heavy machinery and resources an ongoing challenge. Each delay meant losing valuable time, but Parker's team had developed backup plans to keep operations running efficiently. Their ability to adapt to the unpredictable environment gave them an edge over past miners who lacked these capabilities. The financial burden of keeping the site operational also became a challenge. Fuel costs, equipment maintenance, and labor expenses added up quickly. We're hoping to do 1,000 ounces. Here we have a lot of stripping to do, though, so in the meantime we've just been stockpiling old drift tailings, so hopefully there's lots of go in them. Unlike the old-time miners who relied solely on manual labor, Parker had the advantage of using modern machinery. But the operational costs were significant. Ensuring that the gold yield justified the expenses was a constant concern for the crew. Aurora, the daughter of the landowner, had extensive knowledge of the area. She had heard stories about gold finds in the past, making her an invaluable asset to the team. Parker, Mitch, and Aurora collaborated to determine whether this land still contained gold or if it was merely a myth. Their first trip revealed promising signs: an old rusty dredging bucket and a piece of a punch plate, clear indications of past mining activity. Aurora's insights were crucial to navigating the land efficiently. She recounted local legend of past miners who had extracted gold in significant amounts but had left before finishing their work. Some believed that deep under the surface, beyond where the old miners had dug, there could be untouched gold veins waiting to be uncovered. There's a lot of gold to be found out here, so I'll show you, where I've had success. Sweet, encouraged by her knowledge, Parker and his crew prepared to dig deeper than anyone had before. Aurora also had a keen eye for spotting geological formations that could signal gold deposits. She identified areas where erosion may have exposed veins of gold that were overlooked by past miners. Her expertise proved essential in directing excavation efforts toward the most promising locations. The mining techniques used in the past were not as advanced as those available today. Old miners often missed gold deposits, especially larger nuggets, Due to inefficient tools, the first soil test conducted by Parker's team, however, showed no traces of gold, leading to doubts. Mitch speculated that the land had been so thoroughly mined that finding anything worthwhile would be extremely difficult. The landscape was covered in mining tailings, remnants of past excavation efforts, and luck to process the presence of tailings meant that large amounts of unprocessed material remained in the area. These piles of discarded earth and rock had been overlooked because old miners lacked the ability to extract smaller particles of gold. Modern technology could change that. Parker decided that rather than dismissing the tailings, they would test them for any traces of gold that previous operations had missed with new extraction methods. The team analyzed the tailings with advanced gold separating equipment. They also reviewed old maps of the area, pinpointing locations where miners had abandoned shafts due to lack of success. These overlooked sections became primary targets for exploration. You can see that pile over there a lot of times with tailings. If you see birch trees growing out of it, they've got roots, there's gravel, there could be gold. Encouraged by the promising results, Parker allocated additional resources to the site. More heavy machinery was brought in, and the team worked around the clock to increase the efficiency of their excavation. However, new challenges arose. The deeper they dug, the harder the terrain became. Machinery breakdowns were frequent, and unexpected floods from underground water pockets disrupted operations. The team also encountered logistical difficulties in processing the gold. Larger nuggets required specialized refining techniques, adding more complexity to the operation. The crew had to find ways to balance efficiency with precision to maximize their gold yield. As operations expanded, Parker also had to manage a growing workforce, training new team members, ensuring safety protocols, and maintaining morale became additional responsibilities. The high-press environment of gold mining tested the team's resilience, but Parker's leadership kept them focused on their goal. Gradually, their efforts paid off. Soil tests began to reveal higher concentrations of gold, confirming their suspicions. Mitch's methodical approach and instinct for finding gold proved invaluable, boosting team morale. The claim, once seen as a lost cause, was now showing signs of a promising future. They expanded their search, using advanced scanning equipment to detect underground veins of gold. These technologies provided precise data, allowing them to target excavation efforts more effectively. The discovery of additional gold deposits reinforced their confidence in the mine's long-term potential. As Parker's team continued their excavation efforts, they turned to cutting-edge technology to maximize efficiency. Drones equipped with high-resolution cameras were deployed to map out the terrain, identifying promising excavation points in a fraction of the time it would take. Using traditional survey methods, these aerial views allowed the team to analyze geological formations and locate areas where gold deposits were most likely to be found. As we run out of ground in the Yukon, it'd be nice to have had a season or two under our belt and of say, okay, here's the score, here's what the ground's like in Alaska. Got to keep your mind on the future, right? Additionally, ground-penetrating radar and magnetometers were used to detect underground anomalies, helping the team avoid unnecessary excavation in barren areas. This data-driven approach significantly improved their success rate, allowing them to focus their energy and resources on the most promising sites. Automation also played a critical role in improving productivity. Parker introduced state-of-the-art sorting equipment capable of separating gold particles from surrounding sediment with high precision. This reduced the amount of manual labor required and minimized the risk of missing valuable deposits. By embracing technological advancement, not only increased their gold yield, but also set a new benchmark for efficiency in modern mining. Their ability to integrate these innovations ensured they remained ahead of the competition while preserving the integrity of the land they worked on. While Parker focused on maximizing efficiency, he also acknowledged the environmental impact of mining. His team prioritized sustainable practices such as recycling water and reducing waste. They sought innovative ways to repurpose leftover dirt and rocks rather than discarding them. By maintaining responsible mining operations, Parker aimed to protect the land while improving his industry reputation. The team also explored ways to rehabilitate the land after excavation, planting trees, restoring natural water flow, and reducing surface damage became part of their long-term sustainability strategy. Their approach set a new standard for environmentally conscious mining. The work was far from over, but Parker and his team were ready for the challenges ahead, and no matter what, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty. But we'll make it work. I think we got a bunch of people waiting to find out how we did. Parker, their story was one of persistence, innovation, and respect for the legacy of those who came before them. The search for gold never truly ends, but for Parker Schnabel, this was just the beginning of a new chapter in mining history. Want to see more gold? Subscribe now and join the hunt for lost treasures, hidden riches, and legendary gold discoveries. With every discovery, Parker was not only proving the viability of forgotten mining claims, but also demonstrating how modern technology and sustainable practices could shape the future of gold mining. His success was built on hard work, determination, and a deep understanding of the land's history. The journey had been long and filled with obstacles, but Parker knew that every challenge brought him one step closer to uncovering the true potential of the forgotten gold mine.